juggling to swim. I have a brain hemorrhage. I have to walk as a speak. 7 years I patient is not is so frustrating.
Good girl. There was that whole period of trying to get back what we had. Jo with her career and me just trying to find that happy life again.
You have a good day.
I think we turned a corner at some stage. We decided we were going to have another child. We went from the old normal to what's the new normal and how can life be the best we can make it. Do you want to introduce yourself or?
Yes. I am no. Oh, sorry.
You do.
Yeah.
You go. Do what you can.
My name is Joanne Scott.
Nice. Yeah. I'm her husband, Leon Burt.
Connor is 7. Alan is 1. Tom, K-I-T, please. Yeah. I have a brain hemorrhage, AVM.
That was in 2013.
Yeah.
In July 2013. So
Yeah.
we're nearly, how many years past it? 7 years.
Yeah.
Nearly 7
Yeah.
years. It's been quite an interesting journey over that time. I've been through some difficult times with mental health as well. There's been a lot of impact on the whole family, really. Alana, come here. Want to go to Mama? Yeah? When Jo and I first met, she was a very high-flying young doctor. She was starting to specialise in haematology. I had been studying an arts degree, and I was the lowly barrister at Auckland Hospital. And Jo had come out of a relationship and wasn't really looking for someone else to be seeing. There were quite a few doubts about me, I think.
Yeah.
But slowly over time we overcame those. And then we went on a disastrous date when Jo had been working night shift. Didn't like a lot of things that I said on that date, and we didn't go out again for a few months. One of us or the other one of us, depends on who you ask, kept pursuing things. Right, you get ready? When we first got together, we were quite different in our life goals.
Yeah.
Jo was very much career-driven and a very ambitious person, where I'd never really been that. I've always been someone who's happy to sort of go with the flow of life. All right, I'm off.
Bye.
Bye, Danny. I became a teacher shortly after that because there was an ultimatum about continuing to make coffee for her and her colleagues.
Books.
Yeah, we had a love of books, didn't we?
Yeah.
We were very equally matched intellectually. And we got married in, 2011? We always knew that Jo's career was going to be the focal point to some extent of our family, and I was very happy being the man behind a great woman. And Jo was very driven to have an amazing medical career. Haematology was a really powerful academic challenge. As there is for a lot of female doctors, when is the time to sort of interrupt the progress of your career in order to have children?
One day old.
Having a little sleep on Mummy.
Do you like it? Do you like it? You do? Yes, you do.
Go for a walk around the domain. Hi, Mum.
Hello.
Hello. For the first 6 months, Jo was home, and that got me to the end of a school year when I took over and was going to stay home dad with him for at least the next year before we could then put him into daycare or something like that.
Turn back.
Jo was studying very, very hard for the exams that would have brought her to be a consultant haematologist.
Birthday, dear Connor. Happy birthday to you. It's your birthday. Yeah, it's your birthday.
Jo was at work and I got a call from one of Jo's colleagues that something had happened with her brain and to rush out to Middlemore. I got there and I was told that it was a cerebral hemorrhage. And at that stage, they said there's about a 50% chance that she'll even make it to surgery, so sort of prepare yourself for the worst. The surgeons told me that they were going to do a craniotomy, which is relieving the pressure on the brain. They could see the AVM, arteriovenous malformation. Usually with the swelling that they wouldn't be able to access the AVM. However, because the process had been so fast, the brain hadn't swelled up as much as it probably would have.
What do you remember of when the hemorrhage happened?
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. I lucky to be alive. I
We swapped roles to some extent.
Yeah.
Jo had over a month in Auckland Hospital, followed by 3 months in rehab. So she wasn't in the home at all for a good stretch of time, which meant that I was doing the parenting and being by her side, I guess, a lot of the time. Every day with Connor, I'd take him over to see her at rehab or in hospital. But then 6 months after that, I had to go back to work. And Jo became the sort of stay-home parent, but Jo wasn't really able to do a lot at that stage. And epilepsy kicked in at 6 months, post-cerebral hemorrhage as well. So we were really scared all of a sudden that Jo was going to be at home with Connor and likely to have fits.
Oh, buddy.
We put him into daycare full-time, but Jo used to go up there with him, so she still got to do a lot of the mothering things.
Have a good day. Bye.
I took on more than half. But your career, I guess, at that point was completely in the background. We couldn't even think about it at that point, eh?
Yeah. It was hard. I would like to walk again.
The first 6 months, though, it was all about getting well.
Yes,
right?
But I have to start again.
Sit again.
No, I have to start again.
Start again.
Yes.
People ask me all the time, what progress is she making? And I say she's constantly making progress. There's always forward progress. However, the progress that we can see has not yet been significant enough to have a positive impact on what she's able to do. Her very, very clear goal is to get back to her job. I'm quite confident she'll get back language to a really good conversational level, but that extra academic stuff that she's going to need to be a haematologist, I fear might elude her.
I want speaks. Yeah. I want speaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just everything back.
Yeah. Go. To
Yeah,
sleep.
it's close.
Sleep. Na. Kana.
Great. Yeah.
She knows exactly what she wants to say. However, to be able to turn that into words, there are a couple of major blocks. The first one is apraxia, which is her mind being able to control her mouth to make the sound she wants to make. The other thing that happens is aphasia, which is a sort of jumbling up of the signals as they come through what was the speech centre, like someone with dyslexia where the letters get twisted up and she sort of can't put them into the right order.
You can see you on.
Yeah. Mum. Non. None. Tin. Kun. Kun. None. 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 Chuck is hard to chart is hard work. Yeah.
Do you still get frustrated after?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't show it too bad.
Yeah. 7 years I percent is not is so frustrating. Yeah.
Everything was about you getting speech back so that you could work again, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Remember the set of goals we had? We talked
Yeah.
about conversational language within a year, and then struggling to get the academic language back. Hopefully in another year after that. But they were just arbitrary goals that we really set for, because we hoped. And it was pretty obvious quite quickly that those weren't going to come back.
Yes, but
Not in your mind.
yeah.
No.
5 years.
I remember the point
Yeah.
where you suddenly decided that 5 years was the new goal.
Yeah. 7. I don't know. I don't know.
Joe got back into the lab working. So Joe was looking at slides and diagnosing from those.
Hi, Joe.
Hey.
Hi, good to see you.
Yeah.
She had all the knowledge there to be able to do that, but then had to write
Down
reports.
for a minute.
Yeah.
How are you finding the writing?
Typing. Yes.
Typing?
Yes.
Okay, is typing okay? Or is
Yeah,
it-
fine.
And what about some of these long words, complicated phrases?
Type
The phone, yeah?
Yes.
You use a medical dictionary?
Yes.
So I was in a constant state of trying to manage both Joe's expectations about what she was going to be able to do work-wise, and also make sure that it didn't have too much of an impact when it didn't happen. I was pretty sure that she wasn't going to get back to haematology a long, long time before she was. But I didn't want to stop being supportive of those goals, so I had to continue being supportive and trying to help her as much as possible to get them back, while at the same time kind of trying to protect her psychologically, as well as myself, knowing that it was probably going to come crashing down. We keep saying, well, it might be a bit longer, and keep trying, and what else can we try, and some of those sorts of things. There was a real tension in that for me, for sure, both trying to protect her and encourage her and nurture her. She did it for, must have been
2 years.
2 years
Yeah.
to some extent.
Yeah.
And it wasn't improving, and they were very patient and very helpful.
Yeah.
We realised we were going to have to pull the plug on it.
Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, we felt like you'd had a good shot at it, eh?
Yeah. I tried my best.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
No one could ever accuse Jo of not giving everything she had to try and get back that the haematological career.
But is gone. Hi. What happened today?
Boring day.
Yeah.
I was bored today.
Ah.
What? What happened?
Because I couldn't go outside.
Oh, raining.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah?
I think my mum is amazing. I don't matter if anybody has disabilities or anything that makes them different. They should all care the same.
Yes. Ooh. What is it? A flower. Ooh.
Joe's cerebral hemorrhage didn't just change her completely, it changed me completely as well. And I had these really strong goals of protecting Connor and supporting Joe. And I think that lasted probably about a year and a half. Even though I was physically tired, I sort of had the ability to keep going. And for me, psychologically, that started to manifest in some pretty unhealthy ways. I kind of crashed. I found it pretty hard to keep pushing.
Hey, buddy. All right.
It coincided with when Connor was about 2.5. The terrible twos were in full force. I really started to crumble at about that point. Doing typical child things made it difficult to change him. He was problematic at night time, and I started to really struggle with coping. It all came tumbling down for me. I pretty quickly slipped into a form of depression that I wouldn't have ever expected of myself. I was unhappy a lot. I was crying. I had days when I felt like I didn't want to get out of bed, even though I continued to do that. That was the spilling over of years of this ridiculous stress from it all. Began to come out in pretty unhappy ways at that stage. I would scream. I would have been physically very scary, intimidating. And it had just boiled over. I'd never been a person who had anger like that before.
Run on. Connor. Naughty boy. Yes. All day.
I say to you, I can't do this. I've got to hide now. I just got to shut the bedroom door. I'd slam the bedroom door and stay in there and put a pillow over my head and I'd hear Connor still screaming and being difficult in the evening. And I just knew I couldn't go out there because I was going to lose it.
I on the tour. I knew the patient. Yes. I said him to walk it off. The person is right. Is sad.
There were some times during that period where I thought if I left, some of the strain wouldn't be on me in the same way, and maybe I could be a better father. But I did have a few moments where I thought if I wasn't in my child's life, would he be better off? You always used to just say to me in this quite helpless way, I love you. I felt like even when I was at my worst, you never wavered in telling me that. I started having psychotherapy. I went on to medication, but I learned some coping mechanisms. I would hide in my room and we'll go for a walk. I'm someone who's always been really big on commitment as well, and I thought I'd made this really strong commitment. And once I was on antidepressants, I felt like I could keep going and handle it. Maybe it settled down a little bit. Plus, by the time Connor was about 4, he started to get a bit easier to manage, which helped, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's been about a week since they introduced these candygrams, and I'm getting a little concerned I haven't gotten one yet. I never flanked potatoes.
It's really hard life for him, I guess. He's probably having a struggling, frustrating life. And that makes me sad sometimes.
actually watched the Slurples a few times, but I had no idea what was going on.
There's some ups and there's some downs. Didn't I sometimes do board games,
And he watched the show, he gets frustrated.
trampoline and other stuff?
He'll eat a crust of pizza out of the trash can if you give him a quarter. Woohoo! Connor, do you want Weet-Bix or porridge this morning?
Porridge, please.
Alana's too, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll make Weet-Bix for Alana.
I used to want my life back, but is gone. But I want to have another baby.
Yeah. I think I wasn't psychologically strong enough to kind of deal with supporting another human being. So Joe desperately wanted to do that, but it took me a few years to feel like I could handle it. Really.
No.
It was a little bit. It wasn't once you kind of
Yes.
completely
gone.
abandoned
Yeah.
you realised that
Yeah.
you weren't going to be able to do the haematology. We were
Yeah.
started thinking about it more seriously, didn't we?
Yeah.
When we decided we wanted to have another baby, I had already approached our GP just to make sure that it wasn't going to have an effect on her brain. I needed that to feel secure, and then that I wasn't going to lose my wife by trying to have another baby. We accessed a lot of services with a high-risk pregnancy unit
Yes.
at Auckland that made the pregnancy so easy. But we had lots of scans, and we were, I guess, with the high-risk pregnancy unit, we were having constant ability to kind of have scans and things, weren't we?
Yeah.
There's no perfect timing for things, and that some of the things I was worried about, especially with having Alana, I was completely wrong about, and yeah, some of my fears were completely unfounded.
What color? Blue, yes. Yeah.
Once we realised that Joe's inability to speak wasn't going to stop us having a good family and a great life in different ways, we could kind of get on with it a little bit more. Alana doesn't know any different, does
No.
she? Alana's speech development has been slower than Connor's was at a similar age, but that could just be one child to the next. But she loves her mum. She loves you so much.
Connor and Alana is great.
Being a parent?
Yeah. Connor's helps me. Alana's and Connor's shops.
Helps you in shops and
Yeah.
Her speech has gone a bit wonky. I sometimes have to translate because I'm the best person that understands her in the whole entire world.
Hi, I love you.
Cheek to cheek.
Take to take.
That's really good. Humpty
Humpty
Dumpty. Good. Sat on the wall.
We're the Masters of Speech Language Therapy program at the University of Auckland. Research is telling us that people do continue to make progress, after the sort of, 2-year mark. But I think the personal approach is what really singles Jo out. The fact that she picks very distinct aspects to work on.
What would you like to work on today?
I would like to do the welcome
song?
Yes. Is how to speak. Say
Do we want to do the splashing? We'll leave it.
Yeah.
Ready? Alana's here today. Alana's here today. We're so happy that Alana's here today. Joe's here today. Joe's here today. We're so happy that Joe's here today.
There's nothing wrong with Joe's thinking, and people with aphasia, they're perfectly intelligent people. It's just the getting of those words out. Very frustrating because all those thoughts and opinions and the rich, aspects of language is still in there. It's just getting it out. You get the same presentation in writing as you do in speech, where it's hard for them to get the exact words.
Eyes underwater. 3, 2, 1.
Beautiful.
Thanks, Jojo. No, don't take it out of the air.
Salana's cell is 6 months.
Yeah, she hasn't heard you doing that well in 6 speech
Yeah,
months.
yeah.
Yeah, you've been great today.
Yeah,
Do you know why?
I don't know.
No, not sure. Because I heard you say when you were talking about Lana before and you said ringmaster, and I was like, where does that word come from? It's not one you practiced, it just came out.
Yeah.
Do you think you're less embarrassed? Like, do you
No.
ever think it was embarrassing? Or
No.
You're still embarrassed? You
No.
Oh, you never felt embarrassed by it?
No.
It's not your
Yeah.
fault?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's funny because I'm not embarrassed about the depression stuff either. I think it just own them, eh?
I don't have dysmice.
You still don't see a disability.
AVM is lucky.
Your AVM, lucky to be alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not. She is. How can we not be thankful for where we are now when we've got these amazing kids and each other still? Yeah, put it down. Through all of this, I think I've come to think about the concept of disability and ability in a different kind of way. What Jo went through, it affects some parts of her life, and other parts of her life, like family life, can absolutely flourish. Uncle Gary told me the best way to get a girl's attention is by making yourself look unavailable. You don't want to hear this. I look at what I've done well through this time and value that and acknowledge that I've got things that I'm not good at and have been hard. Or not feeling like Jo's speech is going to stop her doing some really amazing things. There's still so much ability there.
I speak is fine at her. Don't speak.
That's just who you are now.
Yeah.
Bye, Bubble.
Is that it?
Might have to do this again, I think.